Welcome back to ChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. Got a video today from Breva TV. Modern women love Dr. Umar Johnson for saying this about BBLs. Of course. Please like and subscribe below. I really appreciate that. With that, ciao. It's Chow Time.
I'm not blaming my little sisters for getting a BBL. I'm not blaming my little sister for getting that collagen in their lips. I'm blaming us.
Who?
Black
man?
Yes, sir. Why?
What? Ladies don't do these things for men, Dr. Umar. They do it for themselves, for their own looks and their own self-confidence. Why are you putting it on men, Dr. Umar?
So I saw this video when I was scrolling through social media, and I want to start off by saying that I agree with Dr. Umar on a lot of things, right? There's some things that I wholeheartedly 10 toes down. I agree with him. I have a lot of respect for him. But then there's sometimes that I am not going to.
I think she's probably one of the only creators I would say that's in this space. But I think it's because she's a woman, and Dr. Umar really panders to women. If most of us men listen to what Dr. Umar said, we disagree with a good chunk of what he says.
To say that I necessarily don't agree or I can't understand this space in which he's coming from, but I personally do not have that same viewpoint. And so I'm going to pinpoint that especially when it comes to this BBL epidemic, because if we want to talk about just rap videos as a whole, right? Let's start from the beginning. When we were looking in I'll just use Jay-Z's Big Pimpin' video from that long time ago. Those were all women with, quote unquote, natural bodies from what we know. There was a couple of people back in the day that would pop in that would have the BBL and be like, outer worldly with their shape. But majority of the women, most of the time back then, they all had more of a slender shaped natural body. And I have, seen from my own of men constantly talking about how beautiful the women were in the 90s when they were natural, when they weren't doing all this extra stuff, when they were taking care of their own hair, their own whatever it is. Even if they had something like a weave or whatever, you never really knew that it was not their hair.
Damn, she's right. Because in the 90s, when I was a kid and I saw black women all over the place, because I live close to Compton, I didn't know those weren't their real hair. I actually did not know this until I became like a full-grown adult, like 18, 20-ish or so, when I started realizing, oh, most of these women's hair are weaves, or they just make it look so good though. Nowadays it looks not good
because of the way that it was done. When it comes to this whole BBL epidemic, from what I've seen being a woman and being a consumer and watching what the stuff that media is putting to the forefront, from what I've personally seen, women are the ones who have been perpetrating the BBL, and what they do is make other women feel less than or inadequate if they do not have one and they can't keep up.
Shout out to Riva for telling the truth.
Men can get on social media on a daily basis and shout from the rooftops that they want a natural body. And women will say, who cares what men want?
Exactly.
There was a trend going on TikTok where women were saying, I forgot whose voice it was, but they were saying, in a world full of beautiful women, do you think if they had a choice that they would choose men? Do you think they would be attracted to men? Do you think that they would listen to men? Do you think they would follow the leadership of men? The same women who are getting the BBLs, they are doing it to be accepted in the hierarchy that women have created of a woman who is about that bag. If you don't have, the veneers, if you don't have a certain body type, if you don't have a certain type of weave, if you're not doing the things that these women are doing, you are excluded, and you are what they like to call a brokey.
But damn, Riva's going in. These are harsh truths that even we don't really talk about. Like, I'm glad she's bringing it up.
When women were talking about natural hair, and even me, I made a post one time talking about how important it is that even if you do the wigs or the weaves or whatever, to take care of your natural hair underneath it. Oh, if you broke, just say that. That's what these women say.
Yeah, we don't actually experience this on the men's end, and not very many women seem to talk about it. I mean, again, shout out to Riva for actually talking about it.
Men have said time and time again that they want their women to be natural and to be this and to be that, and women will say we don't care.
Yep, that's what we hear.
Ironically enough, when Lori Harvey posted that she goes to Pilates class and posts her workouts online, all of a sudden, because of the admiration that a lot of the women have for Lori Harvey and her choices of men, or her ability to be in these relationships with men of a certain caliber, a lot of these women got memberships to Pilates and started going to Pilates too.
Damn. Again, you guys know I love Riva, but this is freaking gold right here.
It had nothing to do with what the men are saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's the image of what it's supposed to look like. It's about how can I capitalize off of this, where either I can start, an OF page or whatever the case is. If that's what you want to talk about, men's participation in that aspect, sure.
Oh, I agree with her on that. Yeah, it is the men that propagate these IG, these OFan, accounts with the BBLs. So I can't agree with that. But no, men aren't out there telling women to do this and requiring women to do these things.
That aspect, absolutely. But it's a space that they are doing that in that investment mindset for leverage. To get the brand deals, to get to this, to get to that, to be able to, model the clothes. Because their body basically looks like, a mannequin. At some point, we have to look and say that we cannot hold men accountable for every single thing that women are doing.
Yes.
Because women are not under the regime of men. They don't listen to them.
Yes. I get comments down below all the time that it's men's fault that their women are doing this. It's men's fault that they allowed women to do these things. Women have their own autonomy, motherfuckers. We don't control women. They get to make their own goddamn decisions. And if they make the wrong decisions, guess what? It's their fault. Stop putting everything on men. Yes, I do agree. We are the leaders. There should be some fault that be put on men. But why do we put all fault on men all the time on almost all situations? It doesn't make sense. You can't be faulting the leader when the subjects or the people that he's leading don't want to be led. It's not his fault. You can be as charismatic. You can be freaking Barack Obama. I don't know, freaking... who's the other guy? Bill Clinton or something. It doesn't matter. It's all the same.
The same way that, Dr. Umar is saying that he is not going to hold these women accountable for the epidemic of the BBL. These are the same women who will go in the comment section of a Dr. Umar and say, who does he think he is? He can't tell me nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They will be the ones saying, decenter men. We don't need them. We don't want them. We have to be honest about these things. We cannot look to black men and say that they are the end all be all, the cause of some of the actions that women are doing, when women are blatantly saying that they do not do things for men and they could care less what they think. It's about being a part of this elite community of women.
Bad
the
bitches.
Influencer mindset, the IG model mindset that makes them feel superior to everybody else around them.
She isn't wrong. How many times we've seen that clip? Take a picture while you're at it. I'm IG famous. Who gives a fuck, ladies?
That's the truth. I've seen it. I see it all the time on social media. Men have blatantly said, well, if you show it to us, of course we're going to like it.
Yeah.
Of course we might double tap the screen. Of course we might watch a little, a little shake video.
I double tap more than just the screen.
But they're very adamant on what they want their wives to look like. And women are saying, we don't care. We're the men now. We do what we want to do. Oh, well. Same way that I think it's so funny that these women were following the trends set by women. And when Kim K lost all that weight and is looking like, somebody that would have been maybe in a music video in the 90s, all of a sudden all these women are trying to hurry up and lose weight. All of a sudden.
It's not us.
It's not about the fillers because they don't have any lips. It's about, again, the portrayal of a certain lifestyle.
She's right. There's so many women with fillers that are so outrageous that you could tell that there's fillers and Botox. Why do they do that to make it look so outrageous? Because it portrays that lifestyle. It portrays, I'm a rich bitch. I can get Botox every so often. I can get lip fillers whenever I want, and I'll look good for the rest of my life, according to them.
I see it as a woman. They want to drive the car, have the this, go to their Pilates, get the injections, whether they need them or not, get the lips done, get the BBL because of the aesthetic. It's not because of being over-sexualized. Women have always been.
Correct.
I think the lady, the one of the first women who was put on display, I think her name was Sarah Bartman from eons ago. And it was almost like a circus because she had, such a big rear end that they had her somewhere that people can just look at her like a science project.
Yeah.
It's been that way.
It's like that now. When you have an outrageous ass, people look at you weird as fuck because they're just like, what the fuck is going on? People aren't gawking at you in awe because you're so gorgeous. No, they're gawking at you in awe because you are so outrageously looking. You literally look like a hippo, or two hippos came together and, try to mate on your ass.
In my personal opinion, I think blaming the men around us is unfair because when you dig beneath the layers and you literally see the social media posts, it's not about the men.
Nope, never is.
It's about women trying to keep up with other women and impress other women.
Mm-hmm.
And capitalize off of it.
Shout out Sariva. She went in on this one. She ain't wrong. Women are competing with each other and they don't think that they are. They're constantly competing for the top tier men and the top tier echelon of society. And there's only certain ways to get there. And it's through a lot of these surgeries. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And catch you guys next time. Ciao.